Well, hello, and welcome back to Dragonborn Industries Painting Up the Monster Manual, episode 29. Almost at the big 3-0, which is like over half a year's worth of painting up the Monster Manual when we look at it in terms of weeks. Gravity's working on Richard's side there, just making sure that it's there. It's not going to just float off into the distance. But yeah, hello chat, hello everybody, I hope you are all well. I'm going to quickly refresh my chat so I can see who is about, what's going on, and say welcome back to the show. Good morning, Miss Lads, good morning, Absalom, good morning, Z, good morning, Dibs, good morning, Dragon School Studios. I hope you're all doing well. Dragon School thoughts with you, buddy. Yeah, I'm not going to say more than that, but, you know. We're back to do the Crawling Claw, which is a teeny tiny model. That's mine right there. I got the WizKids one, ripped it off its base by the fingers, and then printed out a Loot Studios Barman base, and decided to stick a second one on there as well. So that's what I'm going to be painting up today. I think I'm going to spend more time doing the base on this than I am going to be doing the actual mini.
Probably going to be looking that way.
Yeah. But I'm here, as always, with Richard. Richard, who are you, buddy? And where are you from?
Me, I am Richard. I am Warrior Prince 3D. I am your one-stop shop for all your 3D printing needs. Be it small little tabletop scenery, collectibles, 75 statues, terrain, cool little dioramas, statues, as I said. You can find me at Etsy, Instagram, Facebook. Find me over here with Dragonborn Industries, with the Band of Badgers, and pretty much anywhere that there is a 3D printer needed.
And specifically with the Badgers, I would like to point out Abomination Vaults. It's had its session 0 last Friday, which was really fucking epic. And it's like it's the CEO of Turbo Dork, the paint company, which is fucking cool. Mike from the Weathered Dragon, Dave, the usual GM for Band of Badgers, and then Steve is actually GMing Pathfinder.
It's insane.
Yeah, and it was a super cool intro. I really liked it. Richard's character's badass. They're all badass characters, don't get me wrong, but like, yeah. I got a soft spot for Richard, what can I say? And yeah, you should all go check out Band of Badgers and Abomination Vaults, because it's been really fun just watching that first episode. Yeah, how did you find it?
It was nerve-wracking anyway, but yeah, it was a bit intense, and it was trying to sort of get my head around bits and pieces, and obviously, you know, building up a mental image of what's going on and other people's characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was a fun thing to watch, and I think a few people from like chat here as well probably saw it. But yeah, we're back, though. Enough of that. Enough of Richard.
Enough of that shit.
Enough of Richard. Let's get back to me. And let's focus on Odeon. No, Dibs, it was terrifying. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad that Dibs tuned in for it. That's really cool. Yeah, so we're back with the Clawing Claw, and I said to Richard, because we jumped on about 4 minutes before we went live, I think this could potentially be the quickest combat we do. Simply because I think one decent dice roll in the first turn, which could solidify initiative, and he could kill this in one hit. I'm going to go straight through the stat block now, because we may as well when we talk about the Clawing Claw, and then we'll go through some images of what Richard's got currently going on, especially for that badass diorama that's sat next to him, because I want to talk about that and how cool it is, because there's a bit of it I want to shout out about. But let's look at the Clawing Claw first. Let's talk about its stat block, and then we'll do a few bits and bobs. So, the Crawling Claw is a tiny undead. So tiny is a size category in 5e. It's smaller than small. It is quite literally, you know, a tiny creature. It's the size of a hand.
The fucking hand.
It still occupies a space, I'm afraid, but
although I've been a bit nicer with mine, because I've done a few, and traditionally so I've scaled things up, and I've given my little guys a big friend. So
I love
there's a giant hand as well.
So, I mean, but that's something you could do. You could take the Crawling Claw and upscale it to be a giant's Crawling Claw, because what I really like is the lore behind these. So, you could see these in, like, they're dungeon fodder realistically. They're there for aesthetic. They've got 2 hit points and an armor class of 12. You know, if your wizard isn't stamping this thing to death, then something's going wrong. But the lore behind it is that the Crawling Claw themselves are the amputated hand of a recently deceased murderer, torturer, executioner, people who basically are not good people. The hand is then animated, but it retains somewhat of the soul of the person that was recently deceased, of this murderer, this torturer, these bad people. So it retains that want to kill, or that want to hurt people, to maim, to torture. The other interesting thing is that you could be a murderer or a torturer, you could have your hands amputated and then animated, because they're technically then dead things. They can rejoin with the individual's arms and look like regular hands, and they can detach them at will and use them as sort of a nasty familiar. But if you kill the hands of that person, then they die as well. But it's really messed up. It's like really one of those like horrific D&D, let's go for the horror trope things that I really, really enjoy. It's one of my favourite little bits of lore about them that I think is just a fun little thing. But they're really not that scary. They've got a +3 to hit with a 5 foot. They can choose to do 1d4 +1 bludgeoning or slashing damage. Apart from that, you know, they're mindless, so they can't be charmed, exhausted, or poisoned, really. Poisoned because they're undead. They've got blind sight, only up to 30 feet, but then they're blind beyond that. So again, you can just run away from it and be like, oh, I'm over here, and shoot it from a distance. And the only other thing is they are immune to effects that turn undead.
Ooh, are they?
Yes, they are the only undead that is immune to that. So, which is really interesting because I think at a certain level the cleric thing becomes from turn undead to destroy undead. They're immune to that, even though it is a CR 0.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So you could put like a ton of these in a room, and then you've got mass damage of just.
I'd have a swarm of them.
And that is what I think they're for. You have a swarm of them. And I think with your mini that you're doing, which is from where?
My mini, so is, let me get my little, it's up. So this is from Cursed Forge Miniatures.
There it is. So I like Cursed Forge. I've got a few of their things as well. I did a skeletal frost giant ages ago. It is such a good mini. I actually really do enjoy the Cursed Forge stuff, but this particular hand is like, I love the details, especially like the sinew and the muscle striations between them there. It's really, really cool. Yeah, so you're going to be painting up that, which you've upscaled a couple of them and kept some the same. I'm doing the WizKids one, but let's talk about the diorama that's next to you right there, because that is... let's bring up WhatsApp and go left. This thing here.
So, this has got to be one of my most favourite releases today.
That screaming wall of undead and souls trying to get out is so freaking cool.
So this is a new thing from Flesh of Gods. They've started to do the dioramas. I've seen the new one for this month, and it's just as awesome. Not quite as epic as this one, but I love this one. So this is all in pieces as well. So you've got the box, which is in 3 pieces. You've got the feet to the box. The front is all in different pieces. And on the, I don't know if you can see on the back, you've got a wall, then you've got pillars, then you've got the portal coming through it, other bits and pieces in it. I should have brought it in with me because I've cleaned it off this morning. This portal part with all the spirits, I've printed in clear resin. Have a little look-see as to what it might look like through a light. On the back of the box, there is a hole cut out purposefully for it to be wall-mounted as well.
See, now, I think that is probably one of the best diorama boxes I've ever seen, simply because all I want to do with that is paint my Resident Evil characters and put them in there, because it looks like the base of the Spencer Mansion staircase, and then with the clear resin,
as well.
Yeah, have an LED behind it and light it up, because I'm like, that's fucking dope. That is so freaking cool.
So these are available for purchase.
And how much are they, Richard?
So what?
How much are they, Richard?
How much are they? I have not actually set up a price for the multiple sizes as of yet.
Oh.
Because it's something I'm going to organise basically today, because I'm going to get them uploaded. But obviously this one is going to be a pricey one because this is a 200%.
Yeah.
So they are chunky buggers. Message me if there's anyone interested, because on the back of today's stream there will be a discount for them.
Oh.
So for what they would be going up for. But this one is I'm going to paint, and I will be possibly either selling as painted or might be involved in a giveaway.
Oh, that would be cool.
We shall see.
That would be very, very cool. So, Alton says that's nice, though it's bigger than a skull. And Dibs, it's on my list, Beardy, as is most of the Flesh of God stuff. Yeah, it's pretty good. That has been my favourite one today. I really, really like that. So I'm probably going to hit you up for one of those at some point as well, because damn, it's cool. So let's look at some of the other things that you've sent me today. So we had the Flesh of Gods, we've had the Cursed Forge, which I need to bring up WhatsApp to move that across. This is also very cool for any Fallout fans out there.
Any Fallout fans, Stanix has done a beautiful job of the power armor on this one, and it's just an epic print all in all, to be honest. Looking forward to actually getting this one sprayed and zenithal just to see how it looks.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. But yeah, and all of that is going to be available through Richard's store, which is warriorprince.com. No, it's warriorprince3d.etsy.com, where you can use code to the stars for 10% off. But Richard's going to do another code for that. But also, why not go contact him through Instagram, where he might be able to get rid of those Etsy fees? Not that I'm saying Etsy's got fees or anything, and I'm not saying anything against Etsy. There's a reason I don't have an Etsy store. Anyway, before I go slagging off the internet, I guess, Richard, have you got a level 3 character ready to go?
Have. So I also went for everything's random today, and I love the name because this is just awesome. So this is Guy Stonebrew, my variant human druid.
Okay, Druid's good. Druid could see you doing all right on this one. So I guess I need to realistically set up a timer. I don't think we're going to need it. I think the painting, it might go nuts on the detail of the bottles and this, because I put a second hand on mine around the back. So I was like, where's the light camera? There it is.
So what colour palette are you going for? Because I am going off of the norm today.
So this is the thing. I actually don't know. I know that I'm going to do the wood floor, like a standard kind of like burnt umber. And then I'm going to try and get the bottles looking nice and dusty and dark and a few different colours, maybe a few labels on there. The hands, I don't know which way round to do this, because I think I either go in white and then try and build up the necrotic tones, or I go in brown and try and bring up the necrotic tones. And actually, undead skin is something I'm not very good at.
It's something I hate doing, but really, 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 really want to.
Yeah, which way round are you going?
So did you see the hell I painted a while back, where I did her properly so that she had half the decayed face?
Yes!
So that I'm going to try and go, so building up from the whites, some of the greens, some of the blues, but I'm going to be using the Vallejo special effects set for the zombie.
Nice.
The colour. Because they've got some, you've got the rotten white, vomit, not called anything else other than vomit.
Yep.
I've got the verdigris, the blood colours and bits and pieces. So I'm going to see what I can slap together with this lot.
Yeah, and I think that actually answers Dibs' question, is what brand of paint are you using? Well, I'm using a mix. I'm going to be using a lot of Army Painter paint from the Army Painter, but not speed paints, because actually I'm going to go back to the acrylic paints. But also, I'm going to be using a little bit of Citadel, and I'm going to be using my Green Stuff World effects paint, because Richard has pointed out something. There are things like vomit and bile, and also coagulated blood, and true blood. And I think the coagulated blood especially, and the vomit, could realistically be something like, especially to the top of the hand where the stump is on the WizKids one, and potentially like a few marks on the floor, could be really quite fun. So I'm going to go with those and just hope for the best, really. I'm just trying to work out how to start. I think I'm going to start with the brown, but yeah, what we'll do is, hey Herbalist, how you doing? Hope you're doing all good. Welcome to chat. And we will set a scene. And thank you for the resubscribe with Prime. Thank you very much. We will make sure that there is more music playing, because I think that turned itself off. And then I guess, so it was Guy, the level, did you say half-elf druid? No, human variant.
Human druid.
Human druid, okay, Guy the druid. Guy the human druid. The forest is the perfect nexus point between the realms, where the material plane meets the Feywild, which you know so well, but also where it meets the Shadowfey, or the Shadowfell. These three planes of existence that mirror each other on all three. And where you are in the forest, those borderlines, they can really blend with each other. And you can go on a walk one day and find yourself in a verdant field of bright coloured grass and mushrooms, or you can find yourself with ashen trees, mists, and a foreboding sense of dread. And I think, Guy, one of these days you go out for a walk, checking on animals or checking on the state of the moon, whatever circle it is that you follow, or whichever circle you are.
Land.
You're checking on the land between all three, making sure that it's mirroring itself just right, and you happen across a decaying, old hut. But it's not a hut, there's also brick and mortar. It seems like a mix between a stone circle hut and then part of a manor house that is just forced into one being of unnatural build and architecture that no sane person would have come up with. You notice that the trees are becoming more ashen and the grass goes from this dark green to begins to wilt and turn to dark greys and blacks. And you know that you are crossing into the Shadowfell. But there's a light of the brightest colour. You can see it behind maybe a shadowy curtain. Maybe a fire in there somewhere. What would you like to do?
I carefully investigate and go and see the source of this fire.
Okay. Do you stealth it towards the hut manor?
I will wild shape into a panther. And stealthily and with my cat agileness, I move forward into the manor.
Give me a stealth check using the panther's stat block if you've got it. It's like a +4, I'm sure of it. It'll be something high.
I'm pretty sure it's the stealthiest bugger there is. And search for panther. No, not Pantheon, Panther.
Well, that's like a +40. Using the stats of the gods.
As you do.
Oh, I need to put you on big screen or else people can just see half of you. Whoop, whoop. There he is.
Whoop, whoop. Right, that's a +6 actually. Right, okay, fine. Oh, that's good because I've got the 0 normally. So rolled a 19, so 25.
Quiet as a mountain jungle cat, pretending to be a jungle mouse, you slink up to the building. Smell of decay is stronger here, but it's not fresh. It's not like a fresh hunt or anything. This is unnatural. You manage to make it to the building and you manage to peer through some of the windows, and it seems like inside, although you can't see the source of light, you can see it like a fire somewhere in there flickering that makes the colours seem more saturated than they are on the outside of this building. And you you can smell something, and then you hear with your cat ears as they hone in a floorboard creak, and then you hear, yes, I will. Yes, yes. And then it goes quiet, and then all of a sudden somewhere else in the building, maybe this one. And you just hear somebody moving about.
Am I inside or am I just...
No, you're still outside at the moment, but there's probably like on the small circular hut, and I'm picturing it like Hagrid's hut. There's like a standard door, but then there's like a brick and mortar half of a manor house that's like a rampart, and then almost like a square turret that like just bursts out of the side of it, like it doesn't belong there. And you can look in through one of the windows of like this manor house bit and see all this colour, but the circular hut that's got the door on it doesn't have a window on it.
I'm gonna scout around, and I'm looking for a quiet way in.
Okay. Give me a investigation check. Can you hear the music?
I can't hear music.
Can people at home hear the music? I need to double check whether or not that's actually coming through or not. Yes, cool. It's not too loud or anything, is it? Do let us know about levels. And in the meantime, Richard.
I rolled a 15, and also to those people at home, how am I coming through voice-wise? Because some people have said recently there's been some issues with how I'm coming through. So I have upgraded equipment. I don't know if Fluffy's in the stream especially, because she was pretty good with that. But yeah, how am I coming through? Am I clear? Am I crackly? Is there any issue with my voice?
So I know that Fluffy's not in chat today, but yes, Herman says sounds good here. You're very clear to me. Absalom says loud and clear, so that's really good. Sounds great, Richard, from Dragon School, which is perfect. Hopefully, we'll see if I can bring up the volume of the music. Hey, ZZ, how you doing?
Hey, Z.
How's that for music? Let's see if we...
I hear it.
Div says, well, your accent is a bit dodgy. I agree. So, investigation check, what was it?
15.
15, okay. You slink around, and what you do notice is that apart from these windows that don't have hinges or slides, and they seem to be, again, it's not right for the building. They're not like, they don't fit the aesthetic. And you slink around, there's only the door. And there is a huge knocker on it. And you swear you see the knocker move as you walk past it. Like a wolf's face.
Right. One more check first, using my cat grace.
Yeah.
Can I get up on the roof?
Oh, you can certainly try.
I'll go for that. I'm literally going to leap. How high is it?
Oh, it's got to be 15 foot.
Yeah, a panther can leap that.
We'll see. Give me an athletics check.
Scrabbling with claws and whatnot. Athletics.
Yeah.
So, athletics. Oh, that's just my athletics. Right. Okay. That is a dirty 20.
Okay. You manage to get up onto the roof of this hut, and you do find there is a small, bent and misshapen and twisted and warped flue that comes out with a small mushroom-style cap on top of it that seems to be emitting a greenish kind of smoke.
I'm not changing into anything else.
What would you like to do?
I move towards the front door.
Yeah?
Can I reach the front door from the roof with a paw?
Give me a dexterity check, just to see if you can, 4 limbs, no opposable thumb. Let's just see if you can.
Well, it's more natural 20.
Yeah.
It's basically, I either want to try and, whilst holding onto the roof, either scratch the door or if I can reach the knocker just to scratch at it, I will do that.
Yeah. You reach down. Which would you prefer? Because with a nat 20, you can do it.
The door, first of all.
Yeah.
Wait, no. If I can reach the knocker, I'll knock the knocker. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Pull it up, and louder than you expect. And the door opens. Ah, we have visitors. Come, my feline friend, come in. Talk with the wizened moon. Talk.
I drop down to the doorway, ready to pounce.
Yeah.
I will move in.
Okay, so the doorway itself, you cross the threshold, and it does feel warmer inside, but only just. And there's still this sense of creep and shadow, and something's not right. And as you enter the room, this circular hut room, there is a long table, longer than you think the hut was on the outside, that stretches from one side to the other, and on it are all mannerisms of dead tarantulas with a stick through it, or half of a bat that looks like somebody's taken a bite out of it. There are candles, there are lanterns. You swear you think you see a hand, but it's just a table of creatures and gore and natural items that you would know as a druid could be useful for spellcraft, but in this instance, you don't know what this is. All around the rooms there are these lanterns that have a black flame in them, but yet give off a white light, and there are cages with small little creatures that look like pixies, but with these massive bulbous grey heads, hairless, like laughing at you as you walk in.
I am possessed with an urge to leave this place now.
What would you like to do? You see nothing else. There is a door, however, on the opposite side of the room.
I don't see the person that spoke.
Nope.
I'm keeping paws on the floor, moving in, and I was seeing if I can feel any vibration in the floor for possibly someone invisible.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Right, same perception. Dirty 20.
Okay. As you make your way a bit further in, and you're trying to feel for these invisible presences, you hear, first of all, the door behind you close, and as locks begin to turn.
Yeah.
Then,
Echoes rise.
as you turn to look at the door, you watch as a spider-like humanoid with it's almost like a circular chubby body, but with and that's probably like 2 or 3 feet, but then these really long 4 to 5 foot long legs and 4 to 5 foot long arms just bring it gently down so quietly from the top corner of the room, and there's just a smile, no eyes, just a toothy maw in the center of this circle. Ah, the wizened womb has a visitor. Food. No, maybe not food. Why are you here?
I start slowly backing up.
Oh, scared. Into the shadows it goes, and then you watch as the long limb goes back up and pulls itself up into the shadows as it disappears, and the door behind you, leading off somewhere else, opens up into a long corridor of a black and white checkered floor with cobwebs going up, and the juxtaposition between a hut in the middle of a forest and a manor house is clear, but there are cobwebs everywhere. Bigger cobwebs than you've ever seen. And there are all kinds of ornaments and oil lanterns that line this corridor. Come play with me, small kitty cat. Come play.
I've lost sight of this thing though, yeah?
Yep, it's fucked off.
I will turn and I'll go down the corridor.
Okay. You enter into the corridor, and once more that door behind slams shut. And you are left in this colder room, this colder corridor, and there is an absolute silence. You just hear it somewhere off. Hide and seek. Come find me, little kitty cat. And then you see there are like dressers and there are mirrors and pictures and there are like ornaments all over these cabinets and drawers all the way down the corridor. What would you like to do?
I proceed with caution.
Okay. Do you take in any of the cabinets or any of the drawers or anything?
Are they big enough to conceal something?
So some of them are like trophy cabinets with like a glass front. Other ones are like the kind of ones you'd find that would line a corridor that have like knickknacks and candelabras and like doilies on top of them, but they're so covered in cobwebs and dust that it's really hard to kind of make out.
If I can, in cat form, if I can open any cupboards, I will peer in, but I don't see me being that dexterous enough to do it.
Okay. You take a look at one of them and you notice this brass hand on it's on like a stand, and it says the Trickster, and then there is a key standing up just over the plinth, but just underneath where the palm of the hand is, and it's like positioned over it like it was about to grab the key itself.
I knock the hand.
You knock the hand and it remains brass. Maybe it like nudges the whole statue.
It's mainly seeing if the key falls loose.
No, the key. The odd thing you notice, the key itself isn't attached to anything. It's just floating there in the middle of it.
I thought,
Yeah, that's what you thought. But the hand doesn't move when you knock it. The key doesn't move.
If I knock the key.
So you touch the key. Okay, give me a dexterity saving throw, please. In fact, actually, no. Let's roll initiative.
Dex saving throw is 15.
We're going to ignore that. We're going to go straight to rolling initiative, so you can use that for your initiative if you would like.
Yeah, 15 initiative.
Okay, we're going to start the timer, and I'll describe what happens to El Pantheruni. And I'm looking forward to this. So, does...
Start the timer, yeah?
Yes, the timer has started. Does a 14 hit the Panther?
Yes.
Okay, so as you go to touch the key, you're fixated on the hand and you're sure it's going to try and grab you. But from underneath you, from underneath the cabinet, you just feel this hand whoosh, jump up and grab your throat and try and claw at your esophagus. It is going to do... Let's grab my D4. That is 5 points of slashing damage as it scratches at your throat, trying to pull down and rip your jugular out. That's it, surprise round. We are going to hit initiative. You are going first, my friends. There's this horrible claw of like, it looks like it's been exhumed from a grave, has jumped up, grabbed you by the throat, tried to rip out, landed on the floor on the back of its hand, and it just flips and lands back on its fingertips and begins to like scuttle around you. You can see like its two front fingers, like its index and its middle finger, begin to like arc up like a spider's front legs when it looks like it's going to attack something. What would you like to do?
I am going to bite and claw.
Bite and claw, go for it.
Oh no, actually no. I'm just going to claw because I don't get 2 attacks.
You do not. While you do that, I'm going to take some brown from the army painter, and I'm quite literally going over this whole model with a wet dry brush. What wet dry brush is not quite a full dry brush, but it's enough that it should leave the recesses very dark.
22 to hit.
Definitely going to hit an armor class of 12. Roll some damage.
That was 2d4. 1d4, that sucks balls. Uh, 4 points of damage.
Is it a claw or is it a bite attack?
That was claw attack.
Okay, how do you destroy this thing?
Damn. Literally just swipe straight across it.
And it just like rips part of the fingers off, slams it back underneath the cabinet, and the key, tink, tink, falls onto the worktop of this bench, and you just hear, the first of many little friends for Kitty Cat. And you can take the key, and that's the combat over! We'll carry that one on in a different session, because I fucking love the creepy stuff. How's your mini going? It's been, 2.5 minutes.
I'm nearly my base coat.
My base coat is done.
Also managed to knock off one of the bloody hands.
Oh, really? So, for anybody watching, this is one of those really low CR creatures that, it's got 2 hit points. Richard, if he'd have died from this thing, it would have been
I would have been mortified.
I'd have laughed my tits off, because it would quite literally be a series of unfortunate events of you just rolling shit. The most thing it had was a surprise attack, and that was it. And I think when it comes to using these in a campaign, I forgot to put it on the door knocker. What I should have done there is had it on the door knocker so that you were too scared to touch it, and then have it do nothing.
Yes, that would have been hilarious.
Yeah, and I think that's the way around to go with it. But like, I love these. I think they're a fantastic little tidbit. And it's like, you know, in is it the Deathly Hallows or Half-Blood Prince where it's Half-Blood Prince where Malfoy's going into Bergen and Borks. No, it is in Philosopher's Stone, isn't it? Actually, where Harry grabs the thing and it like grabs his hand.
Yeah,
they're basically good for that, or for just smashing around. They are really quite a low-rate creature, but quite fun and quite creepy and good for jump scaring. Have you ever found that you've used them in your campaigns?
I considering the amount of undead I have used and done, I have never. And I feel a bit as as though I've lost I've missed a step here. So that I will definitely be doing something with these and even making them that little bit more.
And that's something that I definitely want to do. Obviously, like with this show, what we like to do is try and just keep it where it is so that we can show you guys, a level 3 character versus the monster that we're painting. However, you're really not going to face anything too dangerous with a crawling claw. But I think the idea of like bumping one scale up to be a giant's one, I'd give that 20 more hit points.
Oh yeah.
If we consider that they're big creatures.
I'd also make them able to possibly squish limbs.
Yeah, doing like grapples and stuff like that, and strength saving throws. I think that could be really fun. But yeah, they're really quite a simple creature. Does anybody at home use them in their campaigns? Has anybody used them for dungeon fodder? Have they used them for anything in particular? You can use them as a familiar for wizards, I believe, in certain aspects. And if not, they should absolutely be available to wizards. Especially
that'd be quite a cool one, actually.
Yeah. I think it's very, very apt. I wouldn't make it your own wizard's hand, because that would just kill you if it gets killed, but it's...
That would be quite a fun little character flaw, though.
If my familiar dies, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's disattached and it gets killed.
Yeah. It'd be a very interesting way to play it, and would be quite nice to see how someone would adapt and would try to play that. I have to say.
Hey, Gremplin, welcome to chat. certainly feel like might someone scratch my throat out. Absalom's never used one. ZZ's used them to help my kid get familiar with turn action when we started out. Yeah, exactly that. And I think that actually that's a very, very good way of doing them. Divs, yeah, in every game I've played, I put 3,000 of them in one house. That's pretty much what you want to do if you want to swarm people with them. Like a pit of severed hands from a serial killer that's then also a necromancer would just be awful. And the fact that they've got to go and find the worst kind of people to get those hands from. So, I'm actually taking some Black Darth, or Max Darth, which is like the blacker than black paint from Green Stuff World, which I'm going to use on one of the bottles, just there, which I'm going to bring up on that one, just to make one really dark and really grim. And then the rest of them I'm going to do in different colours. So I'm going to grab some, I think I want a red for one of them. I definitely want a green for another one. Divs, I've also played 0 games. You should jump onto Roll20, Divs, see if you can find a game that's online and then learn the system that way as well. Because that's actually a really good way of doing it. If not, I'm sure Richard will put on a whole new stream, start a channel.
Eventually.
It's a lot of work. A lot of work. Right, I need a dark green, and I'm going to take Caliban green, I think. I'm going to try and do quite a bit of wet blending on this one as well. Oh, Rich wants to teach me, says Divs.
Here's the intention.
Oh, that'd be awesome. So I'm going to do the bottle on the ground green. So I certainly think that was... I think that's the start of a long-running dungeon. I think that every time we get something creepy, that could be a place to go to.
That'd be quite fun, actually. I do tend to love the creepy.
Yeah, I do too. Especially when things are like humanoid, but they're not.
Yeah.
Grumpman says, loving my Caravan Rhino and my Starfinder Mini, Richard.
Sweet.
Grumplin is going to be joining the campaign, and is the one who got the most recent one, which I'm not going to say out loud, because just in case anybody else watches it.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I think he's had some other stuff from you.
Wants anything else, do let me know.
There you go, Grumplin. If you want anything else, let him know. And you've definitely got all the time in the world and all the money to spend this year, Grumplin. You don't have a wedding. Okay. What colour should we do the other bottles? I've got a black, I've got a green. What does chat think I should do for the other two?
I think a nice metallic.
Okay, we'll do one in a metallic. Any preference on the metallic colour?
I mean, purple.
Purple! I'll do one of those in a metallic. What about chat? Tell me another colour to go with for the final bottle. So I'm just going to concentrate on that bit there. Just because it's right in the middle of a few other bits and I don't want to get metallic paint, especially on that second claw I put on there. Right. Oh, there's one on the other side. So, how are you finding... Do you think, well I say how do you find it, how do you think you're going to find that particular mini to paint? Do you think it's going to lend itself to painting, or do you think it's going to be tricky because it's so well detailed?
A bit of both, to be honest. I'm going with a bit of a slapdash and wet blend at the moment, and it's trying to make sure that to actually say make use and to show off some of the details and being able to get some of the little bits out there.
Yeah. Div says blood for the blood god. So we're going to go with the blood colour on the other bottle. I'm going to use True Blood from the Green Stuff World. Grains that I've got. Let's see how that is. Let's grab a different brush just to be safe. Right. And I think over brown, that blood colour always tends to work for me because it's really dark. And it's got a nice glossy finish. Which I hope it looks like it's in glass. How are you guys finding the creepy music? Can you hear it? Can enjoy your Thursday afternoons listening to horror music from Epidemic Sound.
Love a good bit of horror music.
When I go through Epidemic Sound, it's just one of the things that I just like. I keep going back to like Franz Gordon and Alterstratus, which is the song that I had on the start of the stream. It's like this like really eerie piano music. I love it. It's very Strad.
Yeah.
Okay, so I now need to get a second brown out. I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use an XV88 from Citadel as my burnt umber colour. Where are you? Right, let's grab that one out. I think the hardest thing is actually going to be painting the hands. I know I'm putting a lot of effort on the base, but that's because I think that once the hands are done, the base is going to be what makes it pop. Let's see. So with this dry brush, I'm taking the majority of the paint off. I only want to be doing little tiny bits, especially like around the edges. I find that that's the best place to get a tan colour, and then we go to more of an orange towards the centre. So I will take a Army Painter Fur Brown and mix that in with some XV88 to get that orange umber colour like that I'm after. So is anybody painting at home today, or what are people up to? And then I've got this tiny little dry brush. This is from an art museum near me, but it's really, really good round-tipped brush that works really well for like things like the middle of these bases, where you can get in some brighter colours. But also there's bits in the way, and you need to go around them carefully. Dragon Skull's painting. Oh no, he just says painting ... Yeah, fair enough. ZZ, working up the nerve to start on my big models from Rich. Nice.
Oh, ZZ, you gotta get them done.
I've run out of minis, need more. Well, I know a guy. What are the big models that you're working on, Z?
Oh, you should see the chippies that have been done.
I've seen them.
Awesome.
Yeah, very, very awesome. I mean, feel free, Z, if you want to stick links to your Instagram and whatnot into, or TikTok into chat, you can absolutely do that. We're very open about that here on the channel. You can put links in for people to find you, to follow you, to show off your work. Absolutely not much. I'm thinking of streaming, converting Princes of the Apocalypse into my D&D world, but probably not going to happen. Fair enough. ZZ Karlak and Asterion from BG3. Nice. They're really, really good statues. I really love those ones. Dibs, I'm painting my Mystique figure that I got from this awesome little company called Warrior Prince 3D. Who are they?
Sound like a weirdo.
Right. I need to start work on the hands realistically. And I went brown, so which way round am I going on this? So let's grab...
How are we doing time-wise?
Dude, we're on 43 minutes.
that we've got left.
Yep. Bear in mind the timer didn't start until we rolled initiative, and it was like one hit done.
Yeah.
Divs, also a mech orc thing from Warhammer, and some old Metal D and stuff for a mate. Nice. I need to get on painting some Warhammer again. Grumpling. Let's do it. But I've got so much that I need to get ready, especially for Starfinder. And I'm lucky that last week's battle map is carrying on into next week. And then, yeah, Arc 2 is coming up. So,
It's sticking everywhere.
yeah. Right, let's grab. See, I always want to use necrotic flesh from the army painter, but I never know how to use it.
What is it? Go for it as a base coat, maybe.
Maybe. I'm thinking I might wet dry brush it over the brown that I've got on there just to give it some depth and some ichor.
Either that or water it down and then put it over and then use it for a bit of wet blending.
Yeah, true. I'll try that. It's easy. What's a good glue for minis? I dropped my kid's Dragonborn. No! While replacing my GPU and his leg snapped off. Yeah, the Gorilla Super Glue is fantastic. Scratch up each side of it if it's resin. If it's not...
I wouldn't use anything else. I mean, yes, it's pricey, but you get 15 grams of super glue.
Yeah.
It's worth the price. Look on Amazon, they're about £5.
Yeah. And supermarkets sometimes have them on a great deal.
Yeah, Tesco's, when they have them on offer, they're like £3.50, and I buy about 10.
Yeah. Yeah, I do a similar thing. Div says he's using Army Painter and Citadel paints. Cool. Pretty much what I'm doing, but I've got a little bit of green stuff whirled in there. And then, yeah, we'll just see where we get to with these. I think I'm definitely going to be getting the nerd goggles out just to kind of try and get some of the higher detail and highlights in with some other colours. Do you use magnifying goggles at all, Richard?
I haven't, no.
Oh, you should get some. They're game changing.
I have some. I've never used them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely game changing for me. Especially when it comes to like, because I downscale a lot of my minis, which is dumb, but I do. And it's really good for getting in there for eyes and stuff, for really, really small ones. Divs, I have the Nocturne Malefic set from Vallejo, which has all the dead flesh tones. Nice! I need to check those out. Absalom says, what's the best glue for plastic minis? So you can use a cement-style glue, which will slightly melt the plastic, especially if it's like an ABS plastic rather than a resin. And there's like, I think Citadel do a cement-style one that does that. But if you get it wrong, it will melt the other parts of your mini. I actually use a one from Wix, which is a super glue that comes like Gorilla, and it comes with an accelerator. And usually the accelerator makes it a bit more brittle but works quicker, but that one I find isn't as brittle. Do with that as you will, but it's like £8 for the glue and the accelerator, and it's a good amount of it. Wix, if you want to sponsor the stream. Okay. So, we've got a decent smattering of that necrotic flesh on there. So we're starting to look like this. Let's see if we can get that actually the right way around. Whee! Reversed cameras. There we go. Very zombie-like. How are you getting on, Richard?
Just waiting for the hands to dry to add a little bit some of the lighter touches to them. And I'm just working on the base at the moment. That's mine.
Oh, lovely. That's really cool. I love that base.
If it will...
That's good. I can see it. Don't know if anybody else can. Dibs, I use Everbuild industrial grade superglue for everything. You know, if it works, it works. What I find with cheaper superglues, if you use those, use a little bit of bicarb of soda and that superglue. So you like dip especially if it's a thin bit, dip that into the bicarb, dip the other bit into like just the tiniest touch, little kiss on the superglue, and then link them together, and it sets like cement. Bicarb of soda and superglue is nuts. Actually repaired a tyre with it the other day.
Yeah.
Well, we had a flat tyre and it had a big hole in it. We had to take it down. Luckily, the tyre place is like down the bottom of the hill, so I was like, "Here we go," and it worked.
Can't go bloody wrong then, can you?
Right, I need to grab some skeletal bone because I've got this little nubbin of a bone sticking out the top of the wrist. So I really want to get that with a slightly different colour before I start hitting this with ickiness. And speaking of horror, when is Abomination Vaults back, Richard?
A week Friday, I believe.
Week on Friday, nice. You all should go check it out. But I'm back tonight for the final of Midnight Tower's Hunter's Full Moon.
I was literally just about to say we've got a full moon tonight. Shouldn't that be more of a priority?
Not gonna lie, I'd forgotten about me. I was busy trying to plug you, my friend. Bicarbonate and soda, yeah, Grumplin, I know. Right. So I need to start detailing some of those fingers and some of those little bits and bobs. So I'm going to get my nerd goggles out and we're going to go for it.
He's going for it.
He's going to do it! You still got 36 minutes left to get a tabletop ready mini in an hour. I think I'm already at tabletop, but I can get this better.
Once I've done the base, I'll be alright.
Yeah. And you know what's really easy about this is I've not used speed paints. As much as it's been fun to have a go with them, I'm not very good with them, and I'm glad that I'm going back to my own methods.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to throw some vomit all over the hands and just see what happens.
I'm waiting for the gagging sounds now.
I want to make so many childish jokes there. Although actually, I imagine this dries quite glossy, actually. Yep, it's a transparent glossy one. You know what? I will give Green Stuff World their dues. The back of their bottles tells you how to use their paints and what effect it gives you.
Yeah?
Yeah, so it's like a transparent, glossy, water-based paint coloured like vomit, perfect for creating all types of regurgitating effects like sick and puke. For extra realism, we recommend adding solids like sand or pigments. Apply with a brush or airbrush.
That is pretty damn savvy, actually.
Yeah, so I think that's quite cool that they've done that. Yeah.
It's nice to see a little bit of care and concern.
Well, that comes with a pinch of salt. In the past week, I posted a few things with Green Stuff World, and some people commented being like, "Yeah, watch out, they're a really bad company," and I was like, "What?" And then some people shared some things about ideas they've stolen, IP they've tried to claim, and I was like, "Oh God!" And I dived deep down the hole of the internet and YouTube, and I was like, "Whoa, oh shit!" Little bit of a mild feeling, like stealing art and then passing it off as their own.
Ooh, that's naughty.
Yes, I think it was something like somebody painted a mini, used their stuff, they then put the image on their website but didn't credit the artist. So the artist was like, well, hang on a minute, that's my work. They then came to compensation with them after the first thing they tried of changing the colour tones of the picture and then being like, yeah, different picture. Yeah, and the community went fucking nuts at them, and it was just like, oh shit. And then things like there's a few roller things and stuff like that was like, huh, that's not your original IP, but then they got the IP property through claiming it in the European courts.
Yeah.
And then go on eBay and stop everybody else from using them. It's things like the paint mixers and stuff, and I was like, oh shit. And I don't know like how in depth it goes or like how, you know, by law and stuff is. It's just stuff that I'm looking at, and I was like, oh no, I feel bad. I don't want to promote that kind of thing. And yeah, so like I'm still trying to like dive into it and see what the hell was going on.
So yes, we'll put you know that on hold then for a second.
It's annoying because I can't deny that it's a good product. But yeah, it was an interesting deep dive on the internet. And
yeah, okay. I say now what are your suggested feeds like?
Yeah, you know what? Completely different to that at the moment, but I'm not going to get into it because it's pretty grim for a conversation on here. But I'll tell you after the stream.
Cool.
It's yeah, really interesting what's coming up on my suggested YouTube at the moment that I wasn't expecting. But you know, with like your doom scroll and you end up just continuing to watch, and now I'm getting more and more and more of it. Add diced carrots. Yeah, I could add diced carrots. I definitely want to get hold of. There's a company that does the actual blacker than black paint. I definitely want to get hold of some of that and try that out.
Definitely going to be worth a little look in.
Well, I want to try it out with dice as well.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think that could be quite fun to like have like something that absorbs so much light that you can barely tell, and then the numbers just pop out.
Let's say I want to start. Well, my plan is to start trying other paints now that we've had a couple of issues with certain bits and pieces.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, me too. But that was the point of getting these boxes of green stuff on. The metallics, again, I've got to say, they're good. I use them a lot. And like the coatl, which I've nearly finished, I've pretty much used solely just their metallics. And I'm like, oh man, I really do like these, and I really don't want it to be tainted by a company doing shitty things.
I've been stripping mine back.
You going to redo it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Because I got something wrong. I have met a coatl before.
Have you?
Yeah.
When did you meet a coatl?
So it was campaign a while ago that Rhiannon ran, and basically one of the big monsters, not big monsters, one of the help to the party, we found basically a trapped coatl. Its physical form obviously gone, but it was trapped within like a crystal thing. So I'm going to paint it the colours that was depicted in.
Nice. So is that like the bright macaw colours?
Yeah, sort of similar blues to what I was trying to go for, but more metallic, and more accents on the serpent sort of scales underneath.
Yeah, fair enough. I think that's really cool. I kept mine quite dark, and I'm genuinely really pleased with it. The bit I'm struggling with the most is the gold.
Yeah?
Yeah. Only because I was trying a few different things, and then I was like, oh, I don't like this. So I'm just going to go back over it with the Retro Eater armour and then go from there.
So yeah, that is the thing. The statue at the bottom I used speed paint on, which I quite like, which I might go back to, but then the gold cufflinks, I do want to do like a really strong gold term sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the way to go. So I'm taking some of my necrotic flesh and I'm adding a little bit of white to it, and I'm going to hit some of the higher fingers and some of the striations in the knuckles and the ligaments in the hand. And then I'll go in and do the fingernails, probably with like a really grim brown rather than a white.
I've gone for a bit of a mess of wet blending and fun.
Nice.
Is the best way I can describe mine.
I definitely want to get some layers on before I add any gore or anything. I think I'm personally yet to face a crawling claw, but have certainly put them into certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to use them a bit more often though. I love little low combat things, especially at higher levels when party members think, oh god, we're level 10, something's coming at me, and then they kick it down with 2 hit points and they're like, there's got to be more, and you let their own paranoia get to them.
It's always a bit more fun doing that.
I think so.
It's like adding random things or a door that can't open.
I've got an amazing one of those. I don't think we're ever going to get back to that campaign, and I don't want to ruin it for certain players that might be in chat, but I'm going to go for it anyway because I love it. I've got an entire battle map which is huge, really detailed, and in the centre of it is a door with a chain around it. And it's a random encounter that they can roll at a certain point in my world because it's there from an old story thing that happened that they don't know about, that's just part of the lore of the world. Nothing they can do can open that door.
Yeah.
Nothing anybody can do can open that door. But my intention is to like make them roll initiative, put the battle map down, and just let them go to town with it.
See what happens.
Yep. It's indestructible, it can't be magically affected, it gives off no magic trace. It's one of my most genius yet
meanest.
Yeah, because the meta of the player, like, there's a battle map, I'm in initiative, there must be something here. Nope, it's just a random encounter.
Yeah, I do enjoy preying on the meta things.
Yeah, I love it. Right, so I'm going to try this. I've got some Earth Liquid Pigment, which I'm going to try as a wash. Because it leaves like a dusty effect within what would be normally stone, but I'm imagining this will leave a nice brown between a lot of the fingers and details of the hand. And then I'm going to water it down just a little bit just to take some of the edge off that. Bring back the colour of the necrotic flesh. So I want these to look quite old and not necessarily fresh. I don't think they should be fresh.
Yeah, I've not gone for a very fresh look at all. Very decayed, very. You can almost, you can almost smell them.
So old they're past the scent.
I'm actually going to have to take my chicken thing off of the holder, which I've still not put up on the shelf.
Oh, really?
Yeah, cockatrice is still on the paint holder I had for it.
So I'm quite great. Apart from the coatl, all of mine have gone up on the shelf.
I've got like my first shelf has got the ones I'm more proud of. Second shelf has got the ones that are a bit too big for the first shelf, and then at the back of the second shelf is the ones that I'm like, yeah, I've got to finish at some point, but they look awful.
I tried to leave the majority of mine to be how they were at the hour mark, as a sort of like, we've done this as a show. But things like the coatl, I'm just like, I have to finish that because it's such a damn good mini.
Yeah.
There we go. So that's the kind of effect I'm trying to get, which is this grim. Let's see if I can get that to hold steady. Actually, come on, focus, you prick.
Yeah.
This really grim, rotten flesh.
So let's see if I can get mine to.
Oh, dude, they're looking really cool. Nice and close.
That's it. Beautiful.
And then I've got to go in and try and outline the fingernails and stuff. That'll be fun.
I'm just going with dirty fingernails.
Well, I kind of want them to be the same sort of colours because that's how they are in the image. But I certainly want to put like a black line around each nail so that you can see the definitive line between them. But I need to now layer up some of the bottles and get those looking a little bit more colourful now. It's not bad to say we've got 20 minutes left. Certainly what I would call tabletop ready.
I'm tabletop ready now, basically.
Yeah. Probably going to use some green skin from the army painter to try and get the green bottle layered up. Use a very thin down version of it, just to kind of get some nice blends and make it a bit more transparent.
My main one's dried. I can do a bit of this dry rust over it.
A little bit of white to that green. Essentially what I'm going to do is take that green skin and I'm just going to add a little bit of white to it each time and just build that up to a nice highlight, but it's still going to be a very transparent wet blend.
Yeah.
He hopes. And what I do for wet blending as well is I will clean my brush off, then I'll wet the brush again and I'll dab it with some water just to allow them to pull into each other, right along where the edge line would be. And then I might add a little bit of yellow to the final bit, just to change that tonality.
A bit of yellow.
A bit of yellow. A little bit of yellow.
The music's sounding very dramatic.
Oh, you actually got it now?
Yeah, when it goes quiet, it comes through.
So, Dib says, Pasty, I think Richard should donate one of those At Flesh of Gods dioramas to you and then do a live stream of you both painting it. No holds barred, use what you want, spend an hour or so on it and then stop and wait until the next stream where you can only paint it whilst on stream. Now, I'm never going to turn down free shit from Richard because the free shit from Richard is fucking awesome. But I feel bad asking for free shit from Richard because Richard sends me a lot of stuff.
I think something can be arranged in such a light. Oh, I do love that bottle. That bottle looks wicked.
So I can do better than that. It's kind of rushed. Come on, focus, you prick.
Sorry, I'm trying.
You focus that ADHD of yours. Hey, Rosie Savage on YouTube. Thank you so much for the subscribe. We are like a few away from the 500 actually. Although I can't see actually the YouTube chat, and I wonder why that is. I can only see the Twitch one right now. Let's have a look. Oh, Condor, you're in YouTube. Sorry, but I've missed all of these. Oh man, I feel really bad about that. I don't know why that's not showing up on my feeds, but let's see what happens from there.
Listen to me.
ADHD, ouch mood. Yeah. So I'm going to leave the black bottle blacker than black. I do need to go in and get some of that real big black and go around those fingernails, and then I'm going to add a highlight to the fingernail after that. I need a teeny, weeny, tiny brush. There we go. Oh, I have to get a new Psycho. Mine's starting to fray.
Uh-oh.
So, here I am in my nerd goggles with my massive eyes.
You beautiful eyes. One thing I have been considering lately, actually, is obviously I'm saying about doing things on streams. Getting a few streamers together and possibly having a theme of things to paint.
That'd be cool. I'm in.
On bits and pieces. And I was considering basically sending out a load of dragons.
Ooh.
And we'd run something, everyone a unique colour scheme. So I wouldn't want to see the normal reds, blacks and stuff like that. See who could do the most sort of far-fetched.
Well, I already know what I would do.
Colour shifters.
You're fucking too right. Rainbow Void Dragons, you say?
Exactly.
That'd be fucking badass. Oh, I got purple on my finger. So this is something to watch out for. When you dip your hand in paint, don't go and pick up your mini.
Do you know what? I think I've done that twice recently, and I've come so close to complete and total ADHD rage with throwing shit across rooms.
Yeah, I'm out of meds at the moment, and I'm like, oh god! So I'm sort of the same. The Mistland says he loves that idea, or they love that idea. So that's somebody right there. Because Mistland's joined us for the Beholder, which was awesome.
Mm.
I actually really look forward to the next time we have a proper big classic D&D monster.
Yeah, that would be good fun.
And getting more people back on again to do a...
An epic battle.
Yes.
Because I did thoroughly enjoy that.
Yeah, I did too, actually. It
might be worth one of the big demons.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually could do that. Something like the Baylor, but then everybody has to get hold of a Baylor or something.
Oh, it's manageable.
Okay, so I think I've got those fingernails on. And I don't know if they'll show up or not, because it's so small. Oh, there you go. So I've literally just painted around the fingertips where the nails would be.
Yeah.
Focus. Come on. Let's take it away and bring it back. Huzzah. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
That's fucking... Yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. Nerd goggles. Oh, and actually, I will say that Max Darth paint, although I normally use a contrast Black Templar, actually that's really vivid from the start, that stuff, so I quite like that. Dragon Skull, that's an interesting idea, Richard. So it sounds like Dragon Skull's in, which would be awesome, who also joined us on the episode and was super fun. I always love working with Craig and Mike from the Mist Lounge. And anybody from the Mist Lounge. We need to sort out, actually, Mist Lounge, our after Christmas collab. I don't know what that's going to be. It's just been fucking manic trying to run a channel. I'm not going to lie, it's fucking hardcore. I don't know how Dave from Band of Badgers does so many shows. And still bees a parent and has a full-time job. This is my full-time job, and I'm still learning.
We need a Steve.
We do need a Steve. We need a Steve. That'd be fucking awesome. But we should do something all together again. That'd be fucking awesome. And Mr. Lounge, yeah, even if it's like jumping in on one of your streams as a guest player or something, I'd love to. I'm still yet to catch up. I've been so busy that I haven't watched anything other than having American Dad on in the background. Because I don't have to listen to it and take anything in.
Do you know what? I need the background. I need the. It's almost like a white noise. I'll have a series playing.
Yep.
That I've seen 100 times, but it's playing. Otherwise, I can't get on.
Yeah, I'm actually very, very similar. I have to have something in the background, but I don't want to listen to something like a podcast or somebody else's campaigns while I'm trying to write, especially.
Yeah, because I'll focus on them.
Yeah, or I won't take in their thing, because I'll be so self-involved in my own that I can't give them the time that they need. And then when I get to night time, I'm so exhausted that I'm like, oh God. So I definitely want to like try and catch up, especially with our American friends, and catch their stuff. But damn time zones. Right. I'm rimming, haha, the bass.
Good old past on.
Minus doing a few more bits on the bottles, I might call it there for me. You've got 11 minutes left still.
How long?
11:45.
Say again?
11:45. Well, 11:40 now. Zizi says music for me, but it gets to a good song and I have to join in with the rendition and get sidetracked. Yep, I struggle with music as well. It's easy with music when I'm doing resin work or podcasts or somebody else's show, but because I've been so focused on trying to get these prototypes right for Midnight Tower, the actual mould for that has only gone in yesterday because I needed to get it bang on. So the bottom half of the moulds will come out today, and then I'll do the second half, and then I'll start putting on stuff again when I'm working, just so that I did that so I didn't fuck it up, basically, because, yeah.
With music, I have to listen to, if I'm doing something, it will have to be white noise, or background, you get the D&D, barkeep ones or forest ones.
Yeah.
Because if I listen to songs, I imagine fight scenes and certain, scenarios and stuff to music.
Yeah.
That's how I plan out certain things.
Yeah. So I sort of get the same thing with, I'll go through Epidemic Sound all the time, but I'll know that there's a certain feeling I'm after. So like say for example today, I knew that I wanted it to be a horror kind of creepy thing, so like that's the playlist that went on. But if I need to write something, I will also do the same thing where I put that playlist on and then I'll write in that theme. As for like music, actually I'm not too bad. Absalom needs silence to focus. Yeah, I think Fluffy's the same when she's trying to focus on a lot of things. She needs silence, and yeah, each to their own. But if I'm trying to relax, I can't have music on because I end up analysing the music too much. It's an interesting thing how we all work differently.
Joys of conditions.
Yeah, exactly that. I think it is conditioning, really. Okay, so now I'm going to try and up the colour on those bottles a little bit, and then I'll probably be done. I used to have music on all the time, but the older I get, the harder it is to focus. Yeah, I find that as well, and especially if I'm in like a low mood and I'm trying to do something and I don't have the energy, I can't split between the work I'm doing and also the noise on in the background, because I will just end up doing the one that's the easiest, which is usually the noise in the background.
Yeah, I've had to start to accept and not bend, but work with the downtime and actually self-evaluate. Right, I need to do this. If I'm in this state, I cannot do anything else. I'll only get worse if I try and do it and can't do it.
Yeah, exactly that. And burnout is a real thing, and it's we need to look after ourselves, even if it is just burnout in our own hobbies and stuff.
I'm done.
Oh yeah?
Apart from drying and maybe a little dab of a slight wash when something is drier, so it doesn't blend and it actually stinks. There we go. I'm done.
Oh, I'm going to go for a little bit longer because I've got 8 minutes, and I think there's a detail I can get done on these that will be quite fun and cheeky.
A little cheeky.
Little cheeky! I'm going to try and put a potion label on the black bottle.
Oh.
Because there's nothing like biting off more than you can chew. So, I need the big old nerd goggles. I need the max magnification. What are you drinking there, bud? What you got?
Got the tea.
Oh, I drink a lot of Earl Grey again recently. I fucking love it.
That's all I ever drink.
Have you put another tea bag in with it yet?
You what?
So, So you know how Earl Grey isn't quite as full-bodied as you want it to be for a proper cup of tea?
Certain brands, I double up tea bags.
Okay, yeah, exactly the same. So the go-to brand for me for tea is Yorkshire tea. It is the brand that I like, and if you want to sponsor the show Yorkshire tea, not a problem.
Yorkshire tea.
That'd be fucking great. However, if you take a Twinings Earl Grey tea bag,
yeah,
and a Yorkshire tea bag, bang them in a cup together, add your boiled water, it only needs to steep for about a minute before you add a little dash of milk, take out your tea bags, fucking blow your cock off, mate. It is incredible. Like,
I will hold you to that, and I will try it.
You will never drink Earl Grey without another tea bag again, because it gives it a full body that you're like, this is a meal. Shit.
I used to, there's a brand, Clipper.
Yeah, I know Clipper tea.
Clipper Earl Grey used to be incredible.
Yeah.
But now I have to have 2 tea bags or I can't drink it.
Yeah, because it's piss water.
Yeah, I don't know what has happened.
Put a tea bag in with them. Put Yorkshire tea bag in with them.
Amazing.
Honestly, game changer. Absalom says what? In all capitals. If you drink Earl Grey, Absalom, try it out. It's fucking incredible. Right, so I need to get this potion label on. We're going to use trusty skeletal bone because it is
Trusty.
and also a decent parchment colour. Oh no, I know what I'm going to use. Where are you? Quick, find it. Thundari dust, it's even better.
Oh.
And then you highlight it.
Good.
Aslan says he's not a tea drinker, hot sweet coffee for him. See now I'm a dark bitter coffee guy.
Say that again, you're a coffee...
I'm a dark bitter coffee guy. I like it black and I like it strong and I don't like being a heathen and adding milk and sugar to it. As the coffee gods intended. Okay. A little bit more. Down a bit. So I am actually not thinning down this Zandori dust because I need it to dry quickly.
I say yeah, if you... In keeping in the creepy theme, because I just looked over and I've seen it and made me think about it.
Yeah.
Another beautiful model from Flesh of Gods.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh shit, what is that?
That is a...
Fucking hell, how many arms has that thing got?
Too many.
That's great. I love the sword. Like, imagine that coming out without the sword is first of all a problem, and then it comes out and is like, and it's got a sword. Fuck.
I'd put it out like that first.
Yeah.
And then I'd make it like a soul weapon so that it coalesces out of air.
But what if it wasn't that? What if it pulls the sword from its own body? Like,
yeah, and draws it out. That'd be cool.
Like you think it's like what killed it, and then it's just like.
But so I've now decided the next time any of my campaigns go towards the Vale of the undead world, they are going to be fighting this thing.
Lovely. So I'm going to take some skeleton bone. I'm going to quickly wet blend that into the Zandari. Just to give the label a highlight. Ah, yeah, it's looking great. What should I put on the label, Richard?
Put HP.
HP. Roger, roger. Roger, roger. Oh, God, let's see if we can do this. My phone keeps going off, and I don't know who's trying to call me.
Oh, good.
There's the H. Nearly there with the P. God, my hands are shaky.
Hold your breath.
I need to reload the brush. Oh, I don't even know if you'll see that. I need to bring up my camera so I can see where I'm putting it.
I can. Yeah, there we go. Ah, beautiful.
Fucking hell. That was fucking hardcore. Right, last thing. I've got 1 minute 53 to add a few effects to this. We're going for blood. We're going for bile. I'm going to put them at the ends of the bottles and the ends of the hands. I didn't think I'd use a full hour, but I'm getting a decent fucking paint job out of this. Okay, this is coagulated blood. And it's going on old Stumpy. How did you do your base in the end? Because actually I didn't get to see that.
Base, so there's a couple of bits that look like they're pools of stuff, so I've just mixed in a load of blends of colours of rock, blood and other bits and bobs.
Oh, cool.
There's a skull I've added a little bit of a wash to, and just done grey for the stone, a couple of patches of just shit on it, and done an old oil wash.
Nice.
Just to, that 1 hour mark. Normally I would have dry brushed it, but I thought, no, I'm going to leave it today.
Yeah, fair enough. So Div says, and then it tells you I'm not left-handed really. I've actually put both left and right hand on mine.
I forgot to mirror the ones. I printed out literally about half a dozen of each size last night.
Oh, really?
And in my head, I had mirrored half of them.
Oh.
But then when I took them all off to clean this morning, I was just like, bollocks. Because I had not.
And
Which is another good thing about printing. If anyone ever wants anything printed and hand swapped around or anything like that, you can mirror things.
You can, and I freaking love it because I do it with minis all the time. So I've got one with like a gun in the right hand and one with a gun in the left hand, and I did it with a box that I did for Starfinder. I freaking love it. That's the time.
Boom.
The question is, are you tabletop ready? Oh, dude, look at that.
Will it? There we go.
See, I really like that. I really like those kind of colours, those greens and the reds mixed with the flesh.
I went for full-blown rotten dirt.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome. I think I'm now more than tabletop ready. So I went with it trying to focus. There we go. Trying to get like the bottles to spill, the labels on there. Most of it is actually necrotic flesh, then mixed with a bit of white to bring up the skeleton bone. I used a dust pigment to get in there, and then I re-highlighted with the same white and necrotic flesh.
Love it.
We've tried to wet blend through the different colours that people wanted for the bottles.
The WizKids ones aren't as rotted in the detail, are they?
They are lagged in their own primer. I did not remove the primer off these ones. So
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's all in one piece. There's no like rotting bone sticking through or anything.
no, there's the top bone on that one, but the rest of it, like the Cursed Forge one, which you've got, yours is way more detailed. Way more detailed. These are more like a Withen zombie hand.
That's what I mean. Yeah, so it's not like blood and gore sticking through sort of thing.
No, just the severed areas. So I think that's what I went with there. But
I love yours. I think that's beautiful.
I'm really proud of that for an hour. That's normally how I like to paint. Just over a course of a few more hours. So I'm relatively happy that at least one of my paint jobs has come up in my own style. But yeah, I think that, like, I love the colour on yours. The fact that there's 3 of them on there and that stone, it's awesome. Yeah, I guess that's it for this week, really. We're back next week with a Cyclops. Which is going to be interesting because it's quite a big mini. And the question is can we get that tabletop ready in an hour? That's going to be hard. Now, luckily for me, the WizKids one's quite simple.
Yeah. I've got to find something now.
Yeah, and I imagine yours will have hella amounts of detail on it. But it's quite a big creature. It's obviously like essentially one of the giant kin. I know it's a monstrosity, but it's you know, it's giant size, and that's a lot of flesh. And
that's the only thing that will worry me.
Well, if I was airbrushing it, I wouldn't find it a problem. However, I'm not.
It'd be a piece of piss because I do all the flesh first.
Yeah.
Hard coat it and then do everything else.
Exactly that. So I think for me it's going to be a lot of dry brushing through the browns and then try to wet blend the skin tones. And then we've got to work it out from there. So
let's look for a more simpler model.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a hard one. But I've really enjoyed today. I really like getting down to the creepy shit. And yeah, I think yours looks awesome. I'm really proud of mine. Guys, please go check out Warrior Prince 3D on Etsy, on Instagram. That fucking goddamn awesome Flesh of the Gods diorama. Everyone go buy it and we'll all paint it together. It's so good. I fucking want to stick Resident Evil minis in there so bad. And I'm gonna.
It's so pretty.
It's really, really pretty. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. We're going to close down the stream. We're going to see you. I'm going to see you tonight. I'm back with Band of Badgers, 9 o'clock on their channel for the final of Midnight Towers of Hunter's Full Moon. Richard's back next week on Friday with Abomination Vaults, Pathfinder 2E campaign. And then back on Monday for some more Starfinder. We're going to find some stars. Hey, Lord of Cats. You're joining in right at the end of the stream. We're signing off. Guys, thank you so much. Have yourselves a fantastic fucking weekend. And may the dice gods be ever in your favour. Take it easy now.